Ordinance 37.
It'll blast.
So this is the right in, right out for the millionth time. We had it left it on first read. Is it all set to go for second and third, Mark, or would you like second?
I think Mr. Barris would like to push it through from a time perspective.
Yeah, because we were thinking we were going to have that meeting on May 26th, and that's fine that we didn't, but if you could do a second and third, that'll give us time to get the notices out for cash payment to the property owners if they want to pay the cash payment instead of an assessment. It'll just give us a little more time to do that.
And the actual assessment amounts are, Mr. Hoover has them, they're on, to be kept on file with the clerk's office, so
Okay.
if anybody wants to see them.
Any objections to 2 and 3, folks? And Mr. Ventura, I'd like you to second that.
I will do that, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Moving on to 38. This is the service position. Mr. Wilson, you want to help explain this?
Yeah, we basically we'd like to change the pay grade for the service supervisor position from in pay grade 10 to pay grade 9. And doing this, it would go from an exempt position to a non-exempt position. I reviewed, after looking at the position, the role, and everything the supervisor does, the odd hours, the long hours that they work in the winter and different seasons. And also, looking at a lot of different cities and a lot of different communities, also view this position, I feel like it really should be a non-exempt position with the opportunity to earn overtime, to be fair to the employee. That's where we are on it. Pretty much sums it up.
This is the position we created a year ago.
2019, I believe.
Just pulling up the list here.
I think it was created in November of 2019. I think that's correct. I remember being at that meeting.
Is this Director of Public Service, is that a change that we're making now, or is that something we had already?
This is the title, but I think we had already done that with the...
We already done Director of Public Service?
The code change?
The name
Just
of the
the name.
position.
Went from Service Director to Director of Public Service. It wasn't anything.
Was that something we had voted on previously, or did we even?
It's in the charter. We didn't, I don't think, modify that.
Okay. All right, so does everyone understand what the reasoning is for this? It's the same job, same skills, right now, same person. We're just going from a salaried position to an hourly position.
And exempt to non-exempt.
Do we know approximately what the difference is in the cost to the city? Because like normally when you're, and I might get these backwards, so feel free to correct me, but when you're exempt, you're paid a higher rate to make up for the fact that when you're non-exempt, even with OT, you may catch up to that exempt rate, right?
Generally.
Well, we were in a unique situation with this because of the turnover with the director position.
Right.
Where the service supervisor was putting in a lot of hours.
Right.
And now that that's going to kind of go away, this will actually stabilize that. I don't think there's going to be hardly any, and there's going to be no impact on our budget, really.
Do we think it'll be a wash, I guess was what I was.
So it may go up a little bit, but not, but the whole thing about this is when we talk about it, and Dan can attest to this too, is, if the person's putting in the hours, they should be compensated for that. And this is not necessarily somewhere where it's a salary position, because when he did his research, no one else in that role is getting salary. It just didn't make sense. So if you're putting in the work, and you guys all remember the meeting you were at when we were praising Steve for the job he did, he should be compensated for his hours. It's not technically a salary position.
Makes sense. No, I was just curious if we had an idea of what the impact would be financially.
Yeah, I mean, we looked at the financials, and I think tried to land the best that we could. If he would put in probably the maximum of overtime that we would figure that he would get, based on like a really good winter and everything, then he would probably land about where we are now, or whoever that person is.
Right.
But also compensated for this allows us to compensate correctly. Like, so if there's less overtime, then that person's paid for that overtime. You know, so it just, I mean, it's more fair all around to the city, more responsible fiscally for us, and then also more fair to the employee.
Yeah, instead of giving them a guaranteed, or giving the position a guaranteed raise, and then they have no work that they have to do, then we're kind of throwing that money away. But if we find someone in a position like Steve was in, where he had to take over these director duties for a period of time, put in all these extra hours, then we're not underpaying them. And so it helps us keep the right people in the job too, I'd say.
Well, it's a big thing now, obviously, with employees leaving and the opportunities out there. We want to start to build some culture here where we want people to stick around. This is a way that we can help accomplish that, because the market's wide open.
Any other questions on this topic? I'd like to do this 1, 2, 3 if possible. Any
I agree.
objections?
I agree.
All right, and then the next one is the big budgets amendments.
Amendment? Thank you. It's our second amendment of the year. And some highlights, I was able to bump up the income tax a little bit based upon collections, which is a good thing. We were able to remove some borrowings also and take cash for some capital expenditures that we're going to be purchasing this year. That's another good thing. We added some sewer district eligible projects, $68,000 worth of that. So that's a wash, because we'll get money to pay for that. And much needed, I mean, Steve and Dan, when we meet probably next week, we'll go over the 5-year capital plan. We're starting to do that with department heads. Trailers were 25 years old, or like landscape trailers, so we bought 3 of those. We didn't have a light tower for safety when they're out on the road at night. This is a light and an arrow. I don't know if you've seen it, but arrow board also for safety when there for 3 trailers.
3 arrow board trailers.
3 arrow board trailers. Okay. So just trying to make smart purchases now that we have that income tax increase in place for safety/service. We should use the money wisely and appropriately. So I ask if you agree with all the changes that we do a 1, 2, 3 on this.
I left my copy at home.
Okay.
Was there, no, I don't need it. I remember something from it. Was there a 500,000 or move into the rec center, or
It was 50,000.
50,000, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Transfer in, that basically removes the need for borrowing for the lights for the ball field.
Oh,
We're
okay.
gonna borrow, so
Thank you.
instead of borrowing, we're gonna pay cash.
Got it.
This is 113,000 for barricades.
Well, barricades and other things. It wasn't just for barricades. Pond fountain, a shed.
What is this X amount for barricades? Is it concrete barricades or?
No, the barricades up at around the Summerfest.
So
Okay.
we ordered all those because what we were doing was we were renting them. And we realized that for what we were spending, we could buy them in like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So it probably just makes sense to buy for any event we have. So now we have them on property and we can put them out whenever needed.
And that the pond fountain fails weekly. So the shed at the end of the pond fountain, right off of the roadway there, we're going to replace that with a more usable shed/barn, actually.
It's rotted out.
And the fishing deck you see is being replaced right now.
Is this the total cost of all that?
Yeah,
Or is that-
total cost of all that.
We get all that stuff for 113,000?
Yeah,
Pretty good for that new deck, because the deck's done, isn't it, or almost done?
almost
We're
done.
done
Yeah.
tomorrow.
And it's all Trex?
It's
The pond goes out as a T. They call it
That
the
we're
fish.
replacing the whole deck?
Not the support underneath,
No,
but
just
the
the
surface.
walkway and
The deck part.
supports.
It's getting cost-prohibitive.
Are you replacing the whole deck? It's easier to say.
Yes.
Are you replacing the whole deck and you're
Yeah.
replacing the shed? The
Yeah.
shed was built when John Howes was the Parks and Rec director. That tells you how old it is.
Yeah, it was.
And at the same time, when we put the shed in, it was basically used for the fishing,
Mhm.
because we sold bait out of there, and then that's when we also built the deck. So that tells you how old.
So they'll be using that shed for, they already use it for summer camp to
Okay.
store stuff. And they kind of have to store food in there, but they can't because it's full
No.
of holes.
Yep.
So every day they have to bring food and snacks from the rec center down there. So they'll be able to store that, but they're also looking into doing some kayaking, canoeing in the ponds. And we want to be able to rent out kayaks and canoes. So the shed,
Rental booth.
so I don't know when that'll happen, but now that they're buying a shed, they're having that in mind when they buy the shed,
Right.
so
It's
it'll be
possible.
big enough.
There's gonna be
To do all
windows
that.
that go up and down on the one side for summer camp to serve
Mhm.
food in and out.
Cool.
There's a little deck area, if you will, and then potential future additional deck overlooking the pond, so you could sit on picnic tables and observe the new pond fountain with
There you go.
multicolored lights.
We have enough lights at night.
We can have some raves at the
But
pond.
we did go back with the composite on the decking. What spurred that is we kept going over that with the 5 or 10X stain. If you're familiar, it's very, very thick. There was more stain than there was wood
Yeah.
left. So- And then when
That
I
stuff
walked
is
up
like
and I
mud.
put my hand on the rail and I leaned a little bit, it moved a solid 6 inches, and I said, yeah, we're at that point.
People really enjoy the fishing pier, and there's
Mhm.
always people all around the pond, so it's great to keep up that pond
It
and
will
make it
also
more of a
be-
focus.
ADA accessible now too.
Very good. It wasn't before, you
It
couldn't.
kind of was, but
It's got a little bit of a ramp. The other thing is we
Right.
need to look at the rest of that area, because if you try to walk around it, we don't have covers over all the ditches. And there was an
Yeah.
extra ditch built when we did the water.
Yeah.
Now.
So now you go over this nice bridge that helps
Yeah,
you
yeah.
walk, and then you run into another thing. But
Right.
that's part of the plans for putting the trail all the way around the outside of the park, outside of the woods. So there's something that goes around the pond, right? So-
Yes.
And
Yes,
it'll
there
be
is.
accessible, and we're definitely not gonna get a grant if it's not ADA accessible, so I assume that we've got that in there, right? So, yeah, so that's really great stuff, coming to.
I have a
the
question
park.
about number 12.
Okay.
59,000 for capital items, 19,000 for the flower fixtures that were put up, 16,000 for the other debt. Where's the rest of the 24 go?
Oh, no, that's 59,000 for a few capital items that we added. 19,000 was just for the permanent flower fixtures,
Right,
because there's fixtures that won't come down. The
right.
pots will, hanging baskets will come down and new hanging baskets will be purchased. The 15,000 transfer out to other debt for, see that one, the 16.5 is for the first payment for the cot loader for the ambulance. We got an interest-free 3-year loan from Stryker. The first payment will be due 30 days after we receive the cot loader. This is some of the guys don't have to pick up. It's a manual, it's a mechanical hydraulic lift to lift the cot up and push it into the back. So that's what this.
That'll save on Bureau workman's compensation claims. Don't make your money back on that
They're becoming
within
the
5
standard.
years.
And what's the other 24? Because 19 and 16 doesn't.
Well, that's,
come to-
I think it's 3 separate,
No.
like 59 is one,
59 is by
16 is-
itself
19 is one, and 16.
for a few single items.
Such as,
Trying to think off the top of my head, sorry.
Was that for the trailers that you just mentioned? Or is that different?
No, you're right.
And that was for the
Trailers and LED lights and, trying to think what else, but, sorry, I got up at 3 o'clock this morning. I could let you know.
well, the trailers are mentioned in number 10.
Yeah,
They're not mentioned, so I'm just
Correct.
trying to find out what's the 59,000 spent for. If you could tell us what that is or find out,
Yeah, I could find
Send
out
it
for
to
sure,
us.
yeah,
okay. Because
And
without
if I
knowing
think
what
of-
it is, it's
yeah.
hard to approve.
right. If I think of it as we go, or if we finish early, I can run upstairs real quick.
Any other questions or concerns on this?
Okay.
So, that being said, Mrs. Tully, if you get an answer to this, would you be okay with 1, 2, 3, or do you want to
Yeah,
wait?
if we have an answer.
Okay, he's gonna go upstairs and check
Gotta
that out.
have an answer. 59 is not,
You're right, it's not a
So
trivial sum,
confused.
right?
yeah.
I think it's mostly for the new police officer.
You're gonna wanna talk about the next one real quick though.
No, nothing changes. There's a memo. The tax budget, nothing changes, it's just for the millage.
Housekeeping.
Yeah, it's just
Housekeeping, annual
housekeeping.
thing we need to do.
So yeah, this is just basically submitting our tax budget to the city, or to the county.
For next year, yeah.
For next year,
Yeah,
with our
pursuant to the-
projections based on this year's calculations and everything.
And all the numbers are in the exhibit.
So, any questions on that?
We do that every year.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3 on that, if you will, please. Thank you all. And then 41, Mr. Hetrick is reappointing to civil service.
Yes, he's been on there, done a pretty good job. He's a retired police officer, perfect fit. I've heard nothing but good things about his input on that board, so I appreciate him remaining there.
I attended a Civil Service Commission meeting, and he does his homework, does his research.
Good, that's the kind of person we need on that group. And
Reads on
then,
that?
yes, please reread on that. And then, Dave, if you would, read the motion to accept the donation. And then, that is all for our agenda, folks. Anything else, anything anyone needs to add?
We have this little event this weekend. What's that? So if I seem a little tired, I am.
How's it going? Good?
It's going. We're gonna be ready. That's all that matters. Everything's gonna be great. It's
Did
gonna be
you,
a great event.
did you cancel the rain?
Don't, stop talking about, don't say that word.
It's a nasty four-letter
That's what I
word.
learned if you go into police or fire. You don't ask them how the day's going, you
You
don't
say the
say
key
nothing.
word.
You just say, good to see you, have a safe day, and walk away.
Fixtures, so wouldn't you'd have to split that. You can't say 19 for permanent flower fixtures, and then where's the flower?
Right.
Well, it's a permanent flower fixture.
I know, but how much are the flowers itself? The
Right.
fixtures probably
Right.
are
Encompassed in the
19. I
cost.
get that because
Yeah,
my son does that work in the south.
I would go with the higher number, 10, for the baskets to be renewed annually.
And who takes care of them? Does the flower company or does?
Service department.
Yeah, we
Water.
have,
Water,
We
we,
saw him out with the tank.
yeah, we have devised
Pardon me?
pretty neat watering apparatus.
Okay, so
Yes.
service takes care of them.
They've got creative with it.
Okay. They do it during the day? I haven't seen them out.
Yeah.
That's why.
I think so.
So those arrow boards come into handy because
I mean, they look very nice, but at some point, which company we buy them from? Somebody asked me because they look so nice.
I don't even know.
And,
I can't remember.
You can
Never-
find out.
I've
yeah,
never heard of it.
research, because
You
there's
don't need
only,
to do that right away.
no, I can.
Don't run back upstairs.
No, I can find out with a text.
Let me start my timer.
I can get, my wellness program.
So are we going, Mr. President, are we going 1, 2, 3 on that?
So would everyone be comfortable with going 1, 2, 3 on 39, or would you like more time to review? Mr. Tully, what's your opinion?
Well, do we need to add the 10, number 12? We should also add in that explanation, 10,000 for flowers, 19 for the fixtures, 10,000 for the flowers.
No, it would be 9 for the fixtures and
Yeah, 9.
10 for the flowers. So the 9,
But you're just talking about the supplement material, aren't you?
the 9 is a permanent, those aren't coming down, those.
But it doesn't change the ordinance.
Right.
Right,
Or the-
right, it doesn't change the
It
total.
it doesn't change the total that was spent, so it is something that'll show up on our budget going forward, Jan, in its own line.
Yeah,
But I don't
I'm
think
just
this
saying
needs
it
to be
needs to be
amended.
explicit.
Yeah,
Because somebody will say,
What
you
you're-
spent 19,000 for metal fixtures.
The document you're talking about isn't an exhibit to the ordinance, though, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
it's just my memo.
Right.
Okay.
i.e.,
It's only because I have a kid who does this.
Should we do it at 1, 2, 3, folks?
I'm okay with that.
I have one other question.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Can we please have a budget meeting? We have not had one
I
yeah,
was actually gonna bring that up.
at all this year.
well, as I mentioned, I started
last
meeting
year.
with the
Right when
department
you
heads.
said that, I thought we would do.
Yeah.
When would
Well,
be
it's not the
appropriate?
future, it's just first, we used to always meet quarterly,
Yeah,
so that we're not trying to rush through stuff for the meeting. We
well,
would meet quarterly to discuss, here's where we're at, here's our thoughts for the future.
well, you do get,
And then we do the one in the fall.
you do
We're
get
ready
monthly
for next year.
updates,
Yeah.
so, and I'm always available for questions.
3:30,
Pardon?
we'll be at your house.
Okay. He smokes.
hello and welcome to the June 9th council meeting. It is 7:30 PM. Will Mr. Hoover please call the roll?
Ms. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Finley.
Here.
Mr. Garvis. Here. Ms. Tully.
Here.
Mr. Ventura.
Here.
Now I ask American Legion Chaplain Tom O'Brien to lead us in the invocation and pledge.
With bowed heads, let us pray. Almighty God, as we gather here this evening, we ask for your blessing that America may remain free and true to our Constitution. We pray for those who serve the people and guard the public welfare, that by that blessing they may be enabled to discharge their duties honestly and well. Almighty God, we ask for your blessing upon our flag, the emblem of our republic, and may it fly forever over a free land. May the words "In God We Trust" ever live, and may the faith of our forefathers guide, protect, and sustain our citizens. Finally, O God of mercy, we ask thy blessing and comfort for those less fortunate than ourselves, and who may be suffering from mental or physical disability. Cheer them and bring them thy blessing of health and happiness. And now hand over. Join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Always appreciate it. Okay. Next, we have approval of minutes.
I move to approve the minutes of the Thursday, May 12th, 2022 regular council meeting.
Second, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is public comments. Mr. Hoover, we have no public comments this evening. Correspondence from the clerk.
No, sir.
Okay, right into pending or new legislation. First up is ordinance number 37.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance number 37, 2022, for its second and third reading by title only, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An emergency ordinance levying special assessments for the construction, installation, and improvement of a certain right-in, right-out access drive into and out of the crossing/Golden Lake Shopping Center within the city of Macedonia, altogether with the necessary appurtenances thereto.
Mr. Goodetti?
Sure, so this is the legislation that we've been discussing for quite a while now. This is the final assessment ordinance. If council passes this tonight, we'll then send out the formal notices to all the property owners to whom the special assessment will go on the duplicate through the county auditor's office. That will be on file and is on file with the clerk.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none. What is your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I'd ask that we pass and post according to law. Ordinance number 37, 2022, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Ordinance 37 carries. Ordinance number 38.
Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance 38, 2022 for its first, second, and third read by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending ordinance number 4-2021 relative to the compensation schedule for the non-union city employees of Macedonia.
Mr. Wilson?
Thank you, Mayor. This will be to request a pay grade change for the service supervisor position. The change will be from pay grade 10 to pay grade 9, and the position would move from an exempt status to a non-exempt status, giving the employee the opportunity to earn overtime and compensate the employee for work performed in what we feel is a more fair manner. I've done research, looked into other cities. It seems across the board that this level of supervisory position that requires a lot of odd hours, on-call situations, would be a non-exempt overtime status.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move that we pass ordinance 38, 2022 and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Aye. I said aye for no.
Wait,
3,
Mr. Finley, did you vote yes or no?
No.
can we do a roll call, please, just to be safe?
Ms. Brandt?
Yes.
Mr. Finley?
No.
Mr. Garbus?
Yes.
Ms. Tully?
No.
Mr. Ventura?
Yes.
There we go.
Motion carries?
Yes.
Okay. Ordinance 38 carries. Ordinance number 39.
Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance 39, 2022 for its first, second, and third reading by title only, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending ordinance number 67-2021 relative to current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Macedonia for the period of January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022.
Mr. Barris?
Thank you, Mayor. As discussed in the caucus, I'm happy to amend the municipal income tax estimates coming in so far, and some of the other items on this ordinance are changing from borrowing for a few things to actually paying cash for those. So those are some of the highlights, and those are good highlights to have.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move to adopt ordinance 39, 2022 and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Ordinance 39 carries. Resolution number 40.
I'd like to offer resolution 40, 2022 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
A resolution adopting alternate tax budget information for the city of Macedonia, Ohio for fiscal year 2023 and submitting the same to the Summit County Fiscal Office.
Mr. Barris?
Thank you, Mayor. This is annual housekeeping. Each year we send down estimates of what our millage is going to end up generating for us. So none of the rates have changed. Rates are the same. Two of them are statutory, the 2.53 for general fund and 0.03 for the pension expense. And we, thanks to the residents, they renewed the operating levy, which began in collection year 2021 at the maximum rate of 5.07, but the effective rate is closer to under 2. So,
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move to adopt resolution 40, 2022 and pass and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Resolution 40 carries. Resolution number 41.
Yes, Mayor, I move to adopt Resolution 41, 2022 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution confirming the reappointment of Dave Hetrick to Macedonia's Civil Service Commission.
So Mr. Hetrick has been on the Civil Service Commission. He is a retired police officer, great fit for it, has a lot of good ideas to share. And when you're talking about civil service, that's obviously a background that you'd like to have. And He's been a good fit for us there, so. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move to adopt and post according to law resolution number 41, 2022.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 41 carries. Any other motions or legislative actions?
I'd like to move to accept the donation by Lori Butler of a dog kennel valued at $100 to the city's police department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chief, briefly, can you explain, because I actually asked this question, what we would need a dog kennel for?
Yeah, on occasion, like today, we get a stray, friendly dog comes over to us. We hold on to it until, I think it's A&S now, can come out and get it. So we just need a place to put him.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go right into the mayor's report. Just a reminder that the repaving of East Highland between Valley View and Highland Road will continue Monday. They are going to get the intersection. I know that their intention, and I'm sure Mr. Gelati will be touching on this as well, but the intention would be to get the high traffic intersection area on the weekend. We all know that that's a very, very busy area, and we all recognize that. That's why they're going to attempt to do that on the weekend. But our weather tends to bind us up, so we'll see what happens with that. Just a reminder of our summer hiatus for council. The next scheduled meeting will be July 28th, and thereafter will be August 25th. I'm getting this question a lot, and I see it a lot on social media, and I just want to put it out there, and I'm probably going to be extremely redundant with this one often, but I see people asking all the time, what's going into the old Golden Corral? Well, if you haven't noticed, the Golden Corral is down. That is also, and I want to be very specific about this, this is in Northfield Center. Now, we do have the JED district over there where we work with them on those things, but that is a Northfield Center project per se. And what is going in there that they have proposed is a Panda Express and a Slim Chickens. The old Pizza Hut building is going to be an IHOP, and they're nearing completion of that, so that's coming very soon. And the other building next to Culver's is a Optima Dermatology building. They are moving right along with that as well. I know that there's been some delays with materials, just like everything in the world right now. It's very difficult to get things, and it's been tough.
But what about Burlington?
We'll talk about that at a later date. I get that one a lot too, but not yet, right, Mr. Rodick?
That's correct, Mayor.
Mum's the word.
If I could add, I think we will find that out in the middle of next month.
Yeah. So they're finalizing some negotiations with that, so we'll know soon. I want to thank everyone who brought the grocery bags into City Hall here in the lobby. We utilize those for our senior meals, and when people take food out, it's been a great benefit. The only thing I'm going to ask is that if you have bags that have a lot of holes in them or have been sitting in the garage collecting dust and water and whatever may be in there, please don't bring us those, because we had some that had some things that we don't want in those bags, but we do appreciate it, and I don't want to take away from that, but there's been some bags in there that were not usable. So if they're usable bags, I would appreciate you continuing to do that, and I know we have a bunch, but we will go through them, trust me. They go through a lot of bags down there with our senior programs, and when they don't finish their meal, they can take it home. That's a nice way to do that, and for our senior meal delivery. So we appreciate everyone that brought those in.
And the apartments next door, which is senior living, they said thank you. So they're taking someone on a tour of it, and yes, they use those bags.
Yes, thank you. Last but not least, hopefully we get this up for people to see, but if you don't know, tomorrow begins our Summerfest Spirit of Macedonia. That'll be Friday and Saturday. It opens up tomorrow at noon. We generally do this at this time of year because the students get out of school. We kick it off that weekend and send everyone right in the summer. I've been asked a lot about why we don't, or if we are doing something on July 4th, and we are not. And the reason for that is we do it right now. This has been a tradition in Macedonia. I mean, from what I can remember as a child, I don't know if you know any different, but we always do it that week when we got out of school, and it was always very exciting to go to the neighborhood festival and do that. The only exception to that was during COVID, when we got our fireworks. We had a contract with them. If we did not shoot the fireworks off, we lost all of our money. So, or half of our money. Was it half? Correct?
Yeah.
Half. So we did it on 4th of July, and I had to jump through more hoops than I ever imagined just to get to have those fireworks on the 4th of July. But I think that was a very nice thing with social distancing and all the crazy things that were going on, to have something in that year of just laying in your house and doing a whole lot of nothing, because I'm an outgoing guy and I know I appreciated getting out just to see fireworks, even if it was just for a half hour. So that was why we did that on July 4th. We don't generally do that on 4th of July, and we don't intend to do that in the future. That's why we have the festival this weekend. So on the bright note, come out and have some fun. We have the beer tent being sponsored by NHA, Nordonia Hills Athletic Association. So it benefits the children that play the sports with NHAA. And we have rides, we have music. The one band was very popular, it's slipping my mind.
Can't remember now either.
The 80s music.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Breakfast Club. If you've ever seen them, they're a lot of fun. They're going to be there this weekend, and I know that they're very popular. So come on, have a good time, have some good food, and who doesn't love carny food? Last but not least, please don't drive distracted. Put the phones down and drive your car. Okay, next on the agenda is committee reports.
Parks and Rec Commission met in May, and we talked a lot about what will be just upgrades and updates to both the park and the rec center. People might have noticed that they are replacing the fishing pier right now with some composite materials. That's great. And the mayor mentioned that it'll be ADA compliance to get on there. They'll also be replacing the shed that's out there. Mrs. Tully let us know it's been, 20, 30 years for that shed. So it was a good purchase when they made it, but it's time to replace it. So it's going to be a bigger shed. It can serve more functions. So we're very glad that Mr. Chaddock worked with Mr. Veras to get those things completed, and also with the service department. They're still working on the flooring projects in the rec center, and that's what we were discussing. We will be meeting next week, Wednesday at 6 p.m. We will not be having a July meeting. That is our summer recess, as it were. So the meeting after that will be in the third week of August, and that's all.
I've got one for the Finance Committee. We'll be meeting prior to the council work session on July 28th for approximately 30 minutes. That exact time is to be determined, and I imagine Mr. Hoover will put that out and announce it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving into department reports. First up is Director Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. Obviously, we've been spending a lot of time working on the Summerfest, setting up for that. Last few weeks, you guys have been working really hard. As far as staffing goes, I've been working closely with HR, and we've been doing a lot of interviews and working at the hiring process. I'll be honest, it is truly, it's not just what people are saying, but it's truly tough to hire people right now. We just had someone who we really liked, and they took another job. It's just tough. There's a lot of jobs out there, and not a lot of people, it seems, to hire. I don't know what the deal is. We will continue to be moving through that process. I do think we have 4 open full-time maintenance positions, and we're working to fill those. Grass is growing like crazy, so we're spending a lot of time mowing. We really can't keep up with it. As we continue to look for seasonals and part-time help, whatever we can find. But yeah, grass is really a big chunk of our job right now. A lot of weed eating and mowing. We hope to soon get started on the vet's bathroom, work on that. We've had a few meetings on that, and there will be a reworks shredded event coming up on July 9th. So I had a meeting about that recently.
Where will that be?
It will be at the park.
Yeah, Longwood Park in the loop. You can drive through and keep your boxes in the car, and they'll take your boxes out of your trunk and put them in, and it's free. It's free for all Summit County residents. It's from 9 to noon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
More details than that.
I was at that meeting, didn't you see me?
Thank you. Director Gelati.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. The mayor brought up Highland Road resurfacing. Contractor is scheduled to be out there Monday and Tuesday of next week to finish that project off. Take the paving all the way up to the Valley View intersection. We are expecting traffic delays on those 2 days, so please plan accordingly. And the Windmill Golf Center parking lot project is complete, turned out really nice. The guys over there love it, so check it out if you get a chance. End of report.
Thank you. Director Veras, I'm sorry, I skipped, I'm looking at my paper here. Director Rodick, or Commissioner Rodick.
Yeah, I moved up
I'm
to the,
sorry. You know
I moved
what,
up,
we'll get him next.
I moved up to the big boys table this time. So, yeah, there was a vacancy. We have agendas for both the Planning Commission and the Board of Appeals this month. Highlighted cases on the for the Planning Commission are a self-storage unit proposal for Bavaria Parkway, and in addition for the Goddard School on Alexandria. The Goddard School addition will also require a couple of setback variances, so that will come before the Board of Appeals this coming Wednesday. The mayor alluded to some of the development at Golden Link. One of the other things happening there that's notable is the Target store. You probably noticed the storage containers out front. They're going to be systematically renovating portions of that store over the next 22 weeks. And that'll include an enhanced grocery area, a larger freezer area. But most notably, it's going to be increasing storage area in the front of the store, and that's to accommodate the online curbside delivery, which has become very, very popular, I think. And I believe that other retailers are probably going to step in that direction as well. Another development, the Sephora store will be opening within the Kohl's on June 22nd, although I think they're going to have a grand opening the weekend before that. And lastly, the new Burlington store is looking to occupy and open somewhere around the first part of July if everything goes well with them. That's all I have.
Thank you. And I did skip Mr. Chaddick, and we'll do that one next, but I'll give a brief explanation. Obviously, we have our event this weekend, so Mr. Chaddick and Chief Ripley, who are going to be there pretty much the entire time. I told them to take tonight off. I hope all of you don't mind, but I felt that that was a nice thing to do. Mr. Wilson kind of got stuck today because he had an important piece of legislation, so thank you for being here. So we made a video instead.
Hello, Macedonia. Jason Chaddock here, your Parks and Rec Director. As you can see, we are getting set to bring you Summerfest, the Spirit of Macedonia 2022. We're really excited about what's upcoming this weekend. Before we get into that, though, I want to thank Mayor Moldar and City Council for giving us the opportunity to continue to put on this great event for the community. Macedonia, we look forward to getting you in here for the next couple days. Before we dive into all of the Summerfest activities, I want to really take a moment to highlight the great work that our Parks Service has been doing, as well as our service department, in getting the parks and this area prepared for us. They've done a great job of beautification of the park areas, including the grass mowing, getting the trails completed, pavilions ready, and as you go back into the pavilion area, you're going to see our brand new dock that just is getting put in this week. We're really excited about all these great upgrades to bring you a better park system here in the city of Macedonia. Now, to get into here on site at the MacRec and the parking lot, you can see a ton going on. We got Summerfest, Spirit of Macedonia, starting Friday at noon. That is tomorrow, Friday at noon till 10 p.m. We've got rides, we've got live entertainment, we've got a beer garden, we've got bingo, we've got obviously food, and we've got games going on for the kids and for the adults alike. But we're really excited about this opportunity. On Saturday morning at 9:30, we kick off the event with the 5K. You come in, 5K run. We got a 1 mile fun run or walk and a kids dash that will be going on. We also will have fireworks on Saturday night beginning approximately at 9:45 here located at the MacRec. It will be blown off across the street in our open soccer field area. We're really excited for this opportunity. As we move forward, we hope that you guys can make it out here for the weekend. Some of the other items we'll have going on, along with the live entertainment, we will have bingo, we will have a dunk tank here, and we will have an opportunity for you to mingle with people maybe that you haven't gotten to see for the last couple months because everyone's been so busy with concluding the school year. So we're looking forward to this kickoff of our summer vacation. Everyone come out. We'll see you this weekend on Friday and Saturday. Thanks so much for joining us.
Any questions for Mr. Chaddick?
Which ride did he like best?
Yeah.
I think he's a merry-go-round guy. I don't know.
Don't commit him to that.
Director Veras.
How do I follow that?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
No report. I guess he forgot to say American and proud of it. I wanted to thank council for passing 3 of the pieces I had on the agenda tonight. We look forward to finalizing that special assessment project that's been going on for over 10 years, before my time for sure. Want to remind everyone, though, that the refund, because we won't have another meeting prior to the due date, the Macedonia refund for income tax is due July 15th unless you have a extension with regional income tax, and then it would be the date that your extension for regional income tax is. So, end of my report.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your new baby granddaughter.
Yes.
It sounded like a sound machine in its background. I was about to fall asleep there.
Captain Miller.
Thanks, Mayor. Sitting in for Chief Ripley tonight. In the month of May, the fire department responded to 368 total calls in the district. 191 of those were in the city of Macedonia. 167 EMS calls, 24 fire. And we mutuated out 10 times to other cities. We had a significant fire in Sagamore Hills in May. It was actually the night of the council meeting. We also had a significant semi-fire at Plastic Materials. It was a high dollar loss, no injuries. In May, the Civil Service Commission certified a full-time eligibility list. We have 30 members on that. That is good to go. It's good for 2 years. And next week, the ISO is coming out to review our ISO rating. So we look forward to keeping our number 2 rating.
Thank you. Chief Golden.
Thank you, Mayor. In the final phases of the upgrades to the police department, flooring should be in a couple weeks. The sergeant's office got, I think their furniture will be in next week, so that should wrap up shortly. And the only other thing I want to encourage residents is to lock their vehicles at night. If you can, put them in the garage. If you have to leave them out, don't leave anything of valuable that's visible in the vehicles. So best thing, lock your car. Hopefully they move on to somebody else.
Thank you. Director Collins.
Thank you, Mayor. Some hardware updates for the Rec Center front desk. Some new computers over there for them, so that should streamline things up there for them. They had some older machines. The new hardware for the door control system is in. The installation is going to begin on Monday. We're going to do the doors in groups so that there will be as little to no problems as possible, so we can work through it group by group, as well as the completion of the point-to-point radio system over to the Rec Center. It's in place, they've cut over, they're using it, and the request has been put through to cancel our V-Star fiber from Spectrum. End of report, thank you. And congratulations to Grandpa Veras over here.
Yeah, and I missed that too. Congratulations on that. But I also missed a very important one. Happy birthday to Mr. Wilson yesterday. I normally wouldn't give the number, but if you're a Dave Matthews fan, 41, congratulations. And he'll be here tomorrow, so that's kind of exciting. So happy birthday.
Dave will be here tomorrow?
Dave will be here tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
In Ohio.
At Summerfest?
Yeah, that'd be great, but no, I don't think so.
Oh.
Well, Shaq showed up with.
Yeah.
Director Gaddetti.
I have no report, sir.
Okay, any unfinished business? Any new business?
Two real quick things. One, for those of you who called and let me know you like the flowers, you think they're pretty, what's the cost? They still don't know, I still don't know where they're from. The cost is $19,000 and those are permanent.
I just thought of the name, Urban Growers up near Charlotte.
Okay, thank you. And they're permanent racks so that the flowers can be updated annually. Because those aren't annual flowers.
You mean perennial?
Yeah. Second of all, I don't know if you got the email from First Energy. First Energy wants to remind people that poles, electric poles, do not accept you putting on cameras, lights, or flags. If you want to do something like that, you need to talk to First Energy. There's some real concern. They know that a lot of people are doing it now and using that pole. So before you think you can just go put it on there, please contact First Energy. Thank you.
I did not get that email. Mr. Hoover thankfully sent it to me, so I have a call into them to ask that I do get those in the future. So thank you for pointing that out. Any other new business?
I just want to say congratulations to all the graduates that just graduated from Nordonia. I don't think we've had a meeting since they graduated, and we had a lot of fun at the parade, watching all the seniors go by, and I wish everyone luck on their future endeavors.
I gather that's why our council is not here.
They're enjoying their future endeavors as we speak.
I don't necessarily blame them on that.
Yeah. And we could all cry for John. So when he babysits that
Okay. He's stuck on the couch with Lily Cameron on me.
That will be some of the best memories in the world. I can guarantee you that, which I believe you're already well aware of. Been there, done that, and I love it. Every minute of it.
I held her for 45 minutes.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.